Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock, and yes, Kizzy Rock is my birth given name. Happy Monday, guys. Happy second recording. Want to say hey to all my subscribers. Newest, wallest season. I got a word for you. Tap in. My brothers, my chosen brothers, I have a word for you. Not to get it twisted. This is definitely for my sisters as well, because, well, I'm getting ahead of myself. So let's talk about discipline, cheating, lack of character, and then we're going to tie it in all together with like purpose and calling. We'll just see where it goes. But I do want to insert that this is definitely for my sisters too, because there's this misconception that only men cheat and women don't. When in fact, if we're going to be honest and transparent, you have women out here who not only cheat, but also cheat on great guys. All right. So I want to say that. Also, to any of my brothers who are just tuning in and hearing me for the first time, welcome to a channel of the chosen ones. And my brothers who are currently here will tell you that I am not a biased female. I hold everybody accountable, including myself. This is why this channel is geared towards men and women. I just want to be clear because I know the climate of the world, right? They're trying to pin us against each other, and so many people are really falling for that. I'm not one of those chicks. I love my brothers. I support my brothers. Point blank, period. Zero apologies. However, let's talk. So again, this is for men and women. Now, at the end of the day, I'm still a woman, so I may kind of lean more towards, so please just give your girls some grace there, right? What led me to this recording, which is definitely different from the majority of my recordings? A few things. Someone sent me the link of the gentleman, I forgot his name, the coach who recently was terminated for cheating scandal, etc. I even forgot the team that he coached for. And then I had a conversation with a great friend of mine last night who is definitely a high value man, truly. Quick insert there. It is a huge difference between high value and high earner. It is I don't know why people keep getting it like they keep like trying to tie it in together. A high earner does not equate to high value. High value means you have value, let it be traditional values, etc. High earner just means you're a high earner. You make a lot of money, but it doesn't mean that you have values. In fact, as a high earner with no value, guys, I'm sorry, I'm trying to turn off all these different alarms, just all kind of stuff going on. A high earner with no value can be a disaster. Many times is a disaster. Here's the thing. I think we all need to give each other some grace, men and women. Because if we're going to be honest, definitely not all, and maybe not even most, but many people really don't understand the art of discipline, purpose, and calling until they get a little bit older in life. So when we're speaking about 20s, and again, it's not to say nobody has it figured out, but when we're talking about 20s, I think it's important to give each other some grace, because your 20s, you're kind of just trying to figure life out, etc. So you're going to make a lot of mistakes. So I don't know why men are trying to, okay, society has pinned men and women against each other. And to me, it's the most ignorant thing that people can't even see what they're doing. They've tried to pin us against each other long ago. And it didn't work for the most part. And now it's like round 2. And people are taking bait. It's insane to me. Because most of us have came from like this, like, I don't understand. But Anyway, so you got men who are saying things like, oh, well, women only want to settle down and do the right thing when she has 5 and 6 kids and 7 baby daddies. Well, the math ain't math in there, but whatever. 5 baby daddies, and she had 2 and 3 marriages under her belt, and this, that, and third. And then you got women who are saying, I'm gonna try to get through this without any foolishness. You got women who are saying, well, men don't want to settle down until their hairline is to the middle of their head, and until they have erectile dysfunction, and they themselves have baggage, and they have health issues, they have gout, they have diabetes. Like it's all insane to me because they're arguing the same thing. Men don't want quote unquote leftovers. Women obviously don't want quote unquote leftovers. But if you're not in your 20s, you're going to have somebody leftovers. Period. Now, I do believe there are certain inserts or disclaimers, if you will. For example, I've heard men say that they don't want women who have children if they don't have children. I think that's fair. I don't have children, so I can choose. Not that I disqualify men who have children. I don't. Personally, I won't deal with a man with very young children, right? But I can make that choice. I can say, well, I don't want to deal with that drama. If it is drama, it's not always drama, right? I don't want to deal with that drama because I don't have children, so I don't really have to deal with that drama. I can make that determination. But now here again, realistically, how many men my age will not have children? Now, there are some. In fact, there's quite a bit that I even know, right? And I've heard women say, including a great friend of mine, I won't call her name, she got 4. Couple of different 3 baby daddies. Right? And she refuses to date a man with kids. And I hold her accountable as well. Like, girl, so you want to bring all this drama, and it is drama on her end, right? You want to bring all of this drama and then try to hold a man to a certain standard. Like, seriously. Like, we got to all take some kind of accountability. Like, even as a woman, and I'm a woman, we can't have these lists of he got to be rich, he got to have a six-pack, he got to be this, he da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And then we got our own stuff going on that we haven't even dealt with. Let me tell you something. And I say this in all humbleness. I know men, and many times are in their presence, who are deemed to be high earners, but most importantly, high value. So they're both. Now, this is a very small percentage of men or just people in general. There's a few misconceptions. Now, again, hear me. We're listening from different perspectives. One perspective is not just different perspectives here. There's a few misconceptions that men who are deemed to be high value will tolerate anything, meaning any behavior, character flaws, just because a woman is beautiful or have a nice body. Now, a high earner will, because there's no value. So he's not even seeing it from a place of value. See, a high value man, he put work in, where the high earner may just have been given riches because, I don't know, maybe he lives a certain kind of lifestyle or a certain kind of career, right? But he haven't developed the value system. Where a man of value, that man have put work in. This can look like he built his business from the ground. He believed in traditional values, etc. So the point of the matter is, do you think a man of value have too much to lose? A high earner don't. He does, and he don't even realizes it. A man of value have too much to lose. So he's already disciplined. Doesn't mean he's perfect. Doesn't even mean he won't slip. But he's already disciplined because of the work he had to put in to build his life from the ground up. So do you think this man want a woman who is 19, one perspective, or a woman who is even in her 20s or 30s and so on, but she has no intellect, no relationship with God, don't know how to cover him a certain kind of way. Like basically, she brings nothing to the table with the exception of looks and body. Now, absolutely, men are men, right? Most men are visual. Of course, he would be attracted to it, but his value system is going to say, this is danger. I can lose everything that I've built through blood, sweat, and tears. I can lose my family if he happens to, I can lose my family. Not only will I lose my family, I will lose access to my children and my name, etc. So he's seeing it from a place of value and structure. High earner is seeing it from a place of lust. And again, it's not to even say that the high value don't have the lust aspect. He's just disciplined enough to know to get himself out of there. He's not going to even play with it. No pun intended. Kizzy. I want to insert something, no pun intended, really quickly. When I stated that he won't even play with it, meaning he's going to get up out of there. I want to insert this really quickly when it comes to discipline, because a lot of people don't understand what discipline is truly about. Well, different perspectives of discipline. But one perspective is this. Discipline is more about not placing yourself in the environment. Understanding that flesh is flesh. Flesh is not strong enough many times, definitely not all, to be placed in environments where lust is already risen. So now you're playing with, see, this is why I don't believe cheating is a mistake, quote unquote, a mistake. Cheating is not a mistake because there's too many steps that have to be in place before the physical action. You got to make the call. You got to drive there. She has to drive there. You got too much time in between to let conviction or just common sense do what it needs to do. So wisdom and discipline says, all right, I already know I had some drinks, just saying, had a few drinks, or I'm just like, I'm going home. So why would you tell yourself, well, I'm going to just go over there, right? Well, I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to just really try. I'm really trying my best to do the right thing by my wife, by my girl, by my husband. I'm really finally trying to do the right thing. So when I go over there, I'm just going to go over there and nothing's going to happen. Sir, ma'am. So many times discipline is not always and only and solely about disciplining the flesh from doing something. Again, many times that can happen, seriously. But it's more so less about not even putting yourself in the environment, knowing that you can slip, and one slip can cause you to lose everything you've worked so hard for. So my good brother, who I was chatting with last night, he asked me, what do I feel about sex? Well, obviously you guys know, because I say it all the time. I don't give second chances, right? But he wanted to know, at least not anymore. I have, and it was never the same. So that's what I'm going to really expand on really quickly. So he asked me what were my thoughts on second chances. He himself took accountability, and he was married I think 10 years ago, and he cheated, and he lost his family and all the stuff, and he just felt like Kizzy, but I really truly changed after that, but it just was never the same. Sir, it will ma'am, sir, it will never ever ever be the same. And this is part of the reason on why I don't allow second chances, because it's something about, even if you're, because if you're married, there's a covenant per se, but come on, let's be honest here. Everybody's not married, and it's still like it changes. I'll say dynamic rather than covenant. It changes the dynamic of the relationship. So if you guys were so connected in whatever way, you can look at that from a chemistry, just whatever. You guys were so connected. There was a bond. One person, man or woman, steps out. You have broken that dynamic. You have invited someone else into that dynamic. Spirits transfer. So you have invited another spirit within it. This is why marriage, the Bible stresses marriage, because of, now, let me say something really quickly there too, because someone asked me this in the email. Do I feel everybody's called to marriage? No, I don't. Now, I know some people feel that way, and that's okay, right? I'm a very fair person, and I can see things and understand it from different perspectives. I don't feel everybody's called to marriage. And I don't feel that, like, I get so many different perspective from it. Some people say it's biblical, and then others says it's absolutely not biblical. It states if you can't refrain from X, Y, and Z, then da-da-da. My whole thing is, I do believe in marriage. However, it's not from the stance of what most people view it as. For me, it has to be a calling for ministry. That's my view. Okay. So I believe in marriage. And I believe, again, it needs to be, it's just not just because I love you. I mean, fine, that's okay too. But for me, it needs to be a ministry. Marriage is a ministry if done correctly. Also, I'm a firm believer. I live it. God can use you more when you're not married. Those who are tapping into purpose and calling. Now, what I have discovered recently, actually, is you can only get, okay, so there's a season for everything, obviously, but as you keep climbing and climbing and climbing, right, and you're moving in purpose and calling, and you dedicate your life to your purpose, for the way God uses you, a time will come where that desire will change, because now you need some kind of covering, because now it's being expanded even more. God wants to combine the two, if you will, right? So you have to be fluid enough and not sort of set in your ways and say, well, no, I'm never going to ever do it again because I got my heart broke. I'm never going to do it again because I've never seen it done the right way. I'm never going. No, you got to be fluid, because if God calls you to it, then it's going to be grace to obviously carry you through it. So that's my thoughts on there, my good sis who asked me about that. That is my thoughts on marriage. And also, you can't do it from a desperate standpoint, not from a place of lack or need. No, you're already whole. You don't chase, you attract. I was on vacation recently, and I told you guys I met so many very, very, very successful men, different walks of life, different races, different backgrounds, etc. And we had these kind of conversations. And, one of the guys from London, actually, he said, looking at you, quote unquote, looking at you, I was very intrigued by your beauty. But coming over here and having this conversation with you, I can tell within 10 minutes, the average man can't have access to you. And I'm like, ding, ding, you get it, sir. Because I don't know what's wrong with people's mind, especially not men in general, but the toxic men who makes it seem as if women who are not married can't get married. A man is the easiest thing to get. I won't say for all women, but for most women. A man is so easy to get. Even if a woman don't have access to, in maybe, I don't know, society says she's not, I don't know, beautiful. You can go to a country of men who just want to get married to get a green card. Granted, it's for the wrong reason, but the point of the matter is you just want a husband, so boom, here you go. It's easy to get a man. But what kind of man? As a chosen woman, as a chosen brother, you need a certain kind of woman. Sis, you need a certain kind of man, not just any man. I can pick up my phone literally right now and I can get married to 5 people just out of my phone if I chose. So please don't ever get it twisted. Some of my brothers who feel like women who aren't married just can't get married. Child, the last thing on a woman who is tapped into purpose and calling is just on her mind is just a random man. Child, we ain't got time for that foolishness, sir. Sir, you gonna come correct or you not gonna come at all? And she knows the kind of man have to tie into her purpose and calling, and vice versa into his purpose and calling too. Because if not, it's just not gonna make sense. So it has to make sense. So back to what I was saying. So that's one reason why I don't allow second chances, because the dynamic will never be the same. My brothers, if you've ever cheated, you'll realize that even if you're back in that household or she's still with you, she'll never respect you the same. Now, either she's coming out her face a certain way or she don't want to sleep with you any longer, right? Because let me plug this in really quickly. My brothers, let me help you out. I'm telling you, as a woman, when a woman doesn't want to sleep with you, it doesn't mean she's cheating. Well, let me just say this. Most times, it doesn't mean she's cheating. Of course, that's a possibility. And I'm only hitting things from different perspectives, so you don't have people arguing and no, that's not true. That's not. Different perspectives. We don't have limited mindsets here. It doesn't always mean she's cheating. Sometimes, yes. But most time, once a woman is no longer attracted to you and once we tap out emotionally, and that could be because you've already changed the dynamic by cheating and we're having a hard time trying to get that thing out our head. I don't know why men say things like, some men say things like, if a woman cheat, he can never see past it or see her the same. I'm like, what are we, chopped liver? Do you think we can see you the same? Sir, I don't even want you to touch me, because when you touch me, I'm thinking about you touch her the same way. So I'm really perplexed on why men feel like they can never see the woman the same way. Sir, we can't see you the same way either. We have to put a front or a mask on. We would have to get drunk. We would have to, it's a mask. So we would never see you the same. We will never respect you the same. We will never, ever trust. Even if we tell you we do, we don't. We will never feel safe around you. So when you hear women say things like, a woman must feel safe, it's not only about your providing. And I understand from a fair perspective, most men were raised to believe that being a provider is what safe is, or what a man is supposed to do. And I trust me, yes, I believe that too. But feeling safe is also about feeling safe emotionally. Like, you protect our union. You protect our dynamic. You protect my feelings in my heart. So once you break that, now we see you as the average dude. Every other dude who's trying to get at us, because we don't even trust them, so we don't trust you. So now how could you emotionally and physically and spiritually open yourself up to that? So this is why it will always crumble. Now, some people get past it, right? I have a friend who, she said it took a very, very, very long time and lots of counseling and a lot of change actions, not words, change actions on his part, right? So I'm sure some people get over it, but for most people, it will never be the same. So I don't tolerate it because, for one, again, you change the dynamic, in me, transparent, all me over here, full accountability over here. I don't know how to let things go. I'm too spiritually sensitive. So when something sits in my spirit, it sits in my spirit. So I'll be the person that have a flashback when you're sleeping and just straight spaz out. And you wake up like, "What? Dude, do you remember 2 years ago when you didn't come?" So to protect my peace, I must leave because I'm going to disturb your peace. So let's plug that in. You can't ask for peace. Well, I want to bring, again, my brothers, you guys know I love you. This is not all men. I want a woman who's going to bring me peace. Sir, absolutely. I'll bring you a whole island of peace. But if you change the dynamic that changes the atmosphere, a changed atmosphere changes the energy. I can't give you peace when you have changed the atmosphere. So because I want to give you what you want, because I'm definitely going to do me, but I want to give you what you want and not disturb your peace. So I'm out. I'll see you when Jesus come home. I'll work through my process of forgiveness so I can make sure there's no residue, disdain for you, hate, etc. So I got to do that. That's accountability right there, right? I work through that process to forgive you, but I'll see you when Jesus come home. Go find your peace because I'm going to go find mine. And next, a reason, probably the last one, I don't know, I've said what? Never be the same. Can't trust you. I think I've said it all. The last one would be, there's no need. Listen, I get it. I get it. Again, I understand there's two sides to the coin. I get it. There are women who sometimes don't hold certain things down in certain areas, and men may feel like this is lacking. I don't know, maybe she didn't keep herself up. This is that and third. Okay, we can give 1,000 reasons, but at the end of the day, it is still your accountability to walk away rather than cheat, right? All right, cool. But over here, we gonna hold it down from every angle. Take it how you want to take it. Take it how you want to take it. Physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Doesn't mean your girl is perfect, but your girl's going to hold it down. So there's no need. We were taught that very, very young from my mother. She always stated, always do your part. And whatever that may be for you, always do your part. Because if a person ever betrays you, anybody, just not romantic relationships, if a person ever betrays you, they can never put it on you. Because people will do that. They'll put it on you. So what it does is it deflects from their accountability, right? So now you can't hold them to the fire to say, okay, you cheated. You had zero excuse. So I'm out. I'm out with a peace of mind. You won't feel this void for the rest of your life because I know I'm the one who got away. But if you're slipping and slacking, right, you let yourself go, you're telling him no every single time. And woman, I know there's probably reasons why you're telling him, I get it, trust me, I get it. I said every time, right? You're telling him no every time, this is that and the third. They're going to hold you. Well, I cheated because X, Y, and Z. I cheated because, so now it's on you. It's really not, because again, it's still his accountability to leave or her accountability to leave rather than cheat. But you ain't gonna put it on me, sir. You can't come back to me and say, oh, you told me no every night. Or you let yourself go. Absolutely not. I'm gonna turn you on every time I walk by you. Find somebody else to play with. I'm going to pray for you. I'm going to cook for you. What you need, boo, I got you. I'm going to treat you real good. Because, honey, when it's time to walk, I'm walking with a peace of mind. One of the worst things that people, men or women, would have to deal with is walking around in life knowing that you messed up not only on one good person, but a lot of great people. Because typically people who mess up on one great person, they fumbled great people a lot. And then they don't realize it until life goes on. And then everybody else after you, men or women, is trash. The person only wants to use, and then they realize what they had. So no, I'm sorry. I don't believe in second chances. Now, I will say this. I will say this. And I'm going to take my emotions as a woman out of it, try to, out of it for a second. It still bothers me. Okay, I'll use example. The same gentleman who lost his job recently. Again, I'll Google his name before I make this the title on YouTube. But as a woman, it's still that mindset of like, and here goes another nut. Lost his family, no discipline, like just foolish. Like, right? That's the side of me. But then on the flip side, to see that he's suicidal, right? He's suicidal, and I don't. That part still bothers me with my brothers, right? The part that, and again, it's not only men, right? If those who are skipping around the video or fast forward, it's not only men, women too, but that bothers me. That another thing that bothers me is when I see brothers who or sisters who are dealing with addictions, right? Became full-blown alcoholics or full-blown crackhead. Well, I don't think crack is out here anymore. I don't even know. Full-blown drug addicts, trying to ease that pain because they made a quote-unquote mistake. Again, my perspective is not a mistake, but whatever. They made a situation, right? And to see that they can be suicidal, now that bothers me. And I understand why they feel that way. Because I mean, hopefully they won't do it, but you lost your family, your kids, your career, your reputation. You may never get a job again. And remember, a man providing is his thing. Like, so that's heavy. But ding, 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 here we go again. This is why you need a certain kind of woman, right? Not to say she do this because you messed everything up, but I'm talking about, this right here, a time like this is my point on why I always state that men need a certain kind of woman and vice versa for my sisters. When life, not this cheating scandal, when life itself is on your shoulders like that, and that pressure is heavy, honey, you're not going to care about looks. That's you won't even be able to, anyway, you're not worried about that. So you need a certain kind of woman who can come in there, and most men, not all, most men won't even have a lot of words during times like this. So you got to be able to discern how to pray, right? How to pull back, how to do this, how to do that, right? Because looks ain't gonna matter. This is when you're going to find out how soulless most chicks are, when you're going based only on looks. Because now not only are you losing all of that, you got all these other chicks coming out of the woodworks revealing text messages, revealing that. And then what happens after all is said and done? Oh, all women are. No, sir, it's the kind of woman you chose. Don't put that on all of us. Let's put that on your lack of discipline, your lack of discernment. All women aren't like that. Yes, a lot. Many are, but not all. And then it's not until you go through some kind of heartbreak or scandal like that, then the next time, oh, I want a woman who loves the Lord. I want a woman who da-da-da-da-da. Okay. And then you get on us, right? After we've had 5 marriages and 5 kids, and now we say, well, we want a man who's more settled, da-da-da. Well, it's the same. It's the same thing for both. That's what I don't understand why they go back and forth. It's the same thing for both. Life be lifing. Once life turn you upside down, honey, so that part bothers me. And I want to say this, and even though, let me say this really quickly. Even though it bothers me, because my good brother did ask me this last night. He's like, well, if that part bothers you, then why would you take him back? Hold up. I can have a sense of compassion from a distance. You just can't have access back to my life, because now you're bringing all of that heaviness, all of that lack of trust, all of that. No, you did that. That is your burden to carry. Those are your consequences. Why is it my responsibility to deal with your consequences? That's unfair to me. But many people do, for whatever reason, but they do. I don't. I'm not going to deal with your consequences. That's on you. And this is why I can do the process of forgiveness, because I see it from different perspectives, okay? I can also see it as this man may recognize that he has a good woman, but then there's something else going on. There's childhood trauma, right? He can have a fear to open up to you. Maybe his mom was a nutcase. Every person didn't experience, a great mom. Thank God I did. Respectfully, many people didn't experience that. So if he couldn't even trust his own mom, how do you expect him to see you as a good woman and then fully open up to you and release himself? He has childhood wounds and childhood traumas, right? Let's talk about molestation, right? Those are still demons that anybody could be battling. And yes, it's true. It's our responsibility to heal. Yes, yes, yes. But reality is reality. Okay. So there's different things that could have happened along the way. He could have gotten his heart broke at 25 by the first woman he ever loved, and he swore up and down nobody would ever have his heart again. He was going to protect his heart. So when he came to you, he just wasn't fully open. So, okay, that's the reality of life. So this is why I can work on forgiving, because I'm not looking at it as you fumbled me because you didn't like me. Sir, if you're with me, you're going to love me, point blank, period. So it is not, it is not me. It's all you, bro. Right? It's all you. So me forgiving you is so I myself don't carry that hate in my heart. When people say forgiveness is for you, it really is for you. It really is for you. But a lot of people get stuck on not wanting to forgive because they think like the other person got over. No, it's for you. So you can forgive, release, and move on. But at the same time, I can have compassion for you if you're all suicidal over here because whatever you got going on. I'll pray from you from a distance, but you will not re-enter my life. That is now between you and God. I can't fix you. I can't heal you. I can't show you how to receive and give love properly. That's between receive and give love properly. That's between you and God. That is not a process of my own. I have my own process to work on. So absolutely not. I do not allow second chances. Absolutely not. My brothers, if you've ever been, or my sister, if you've ever been in that situation where you fumbled, like truly, like you're in that situation now where the gentleman is from the college and it seems like your life is just over. First of all, I rebuke that in the name of Jesus. Your life is not over. Sometimes, now I'm going to get on your neck in a few minutes, right? But sometimes, sometimes our lives have to be turned upside down in order to be led to purpose and calling. A lot of the times we take our careers or we take what we think provides, like gives us the sense to provide, and then we hustle that, and then we never tap into purpose and calling. So then that's why it's so easy to fumble that, the value system of that, because it's not tied to your purpose and your calling. It's only tied to how you make your money. So maybe, just maybe, God is trying to reroute you to your purpose and your calling, the thing that he called you to do. And eventually, of course, for that, right, within this process that you're down, this is when he's going to really train you, right, through the Holy Spirit, through mentors or whatever he instructs you to do, just do it. But this is when he's going to really train you. He's going to reveal to you that childhood trauma. right? What you were exposed to or not exposed to, and how that's not, X, Y, and Z. He's going to expose you, introduce you to mentors. These going to look like pastors or, I don't know, people who you randomly meet who have successful lives. And then he builds you from the ground up to establish your purpose and your calling. I think my opinion is great to remain single in this process, right? You don't have to have a wife to be successful. Look at one person who I really admire his lifestyle is Coach Prime. I know he got two marriages under his belt, but he is in a season right now where he's doing great things and he doesn't have a wife, right? So you don't have to have a wife. But then a time will come after he built in all that stuff where I trust and believe you will choose better then, and then you will have more discipline because the process of being built for purpose and calling alone taught you the value system. And because at this point, because you have so much to lose now, because you went through a process of probably years and years and years of pain and heartbreak and building all that stuff, well, now you have a value system, and you're just not going to let any chick, just because she's cute or because she's thick, come in and fumble that. You're going to be way more disciplined then. Now you're going to think twice about cheating. You're going to think twice that when you're out and your homeboy is trying to get you to come someplace, you're like, no, boy, I'm going home. I'm telling you, ladies, every man don't cheat. Recently I was somewhere and there were some guys, actually it was on vacation. There were some guys, like 5 of them. They just came off a boat ride. And the other 4 were like really trying to go somewhere. I think it was like a club or something like that. I don't know. And one of the guys, he's like, listen, we had a great time. Deep sea fishing. Y'all have fun. I'm going back to the condo. I'm calling my wife. Every man don't cheat. Now, this dude could easily be like, okay, I'm going to go with y'all, but I know I ain't going to do nothing crazy. No, he's not going to put himself in that environment. He got too much to lose. In fact of the matter is, now that I think about it, he was the very, very successful one. The other one were the friends who were just kind of tagging along, like respectfully, not in a bad way, but this is a conversation I had with a few of them. But he was the one providing everything, and then the others were tagging along. Now look at the one who built everything. He got the sense to go home. The other tag-alongs they're going to do whatever they do. Foolishness. And it was foolishness because they told me the next day. Right? But allow God to build you. You will attract better, right? You will be fulfilled. Because I hear a lot of men say things like they don't feel appreciated because they just feel like they're the bank, if you will. Like that's a fox. This is my first time ever seeing a fox in the flesh. Oh my goodness, there's a fox in my backyard and he's beautiful. I'm gonna see if I can take a picture. Let me get up really quickly. Oh my God, I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. So you will choose, I don't even know. You will choose and attract better, but don't give up on yourself. Oh, a lot of men say they don't feel appreciated because it's almost like they're looked at as a bank. Like if they're married or in a relationship or whatever, it seems like they're not happy. It just seems like they're just there to provide, but no one else considers them and their feelings. And I can, as a woman, I can even agree to that. I mean, a perfect example would be Father's Day. Look at Father's Day. So I do understand that. But I'm telling you, my brothers and my sisters, true fulfillment comes from purpose and calling. Oh my goodness, I'm trying to get the video of this box. I'm gonna miss it. True fulfillment comes from purpose and calling. Not from people, not from thank yous and gratitudes all the time, but truly from purpose and calling. So this is when you will feel fulfilled, my brothers, once God finished building you. Guys, please bear with me. I just got to get this fox really quickly. So my brothers, if no one else said it, I believe in you, right? I know you're not perfect. I know you can heal. But at the same time, it's not like I'm letting you off the hook, right? You got to take accountability, responsibility. You fumbled, you messed up, whatever. All right, you're not perfect. But we're not going to make any excuses just to say, well, I'm not perfect and everything happens for a reason. Come on now. No. But keep pushing, right? Keep trying better. Follow some of your brothers on YouTube and social media. Listen, there's a couple of channels. One in particular, let me see a few. Well, I don't want to leave anybody out, but a few of those guys is truly putting that work in. Seriously, like they're doing semen retention, like they're even remaining single, and not the toxic group who are remaining single because all women are here, right? No, they're truly working on themselves. Right? They may have missed that season because maybe they got married too soon or married before they really build their lives and really build the value system, if you will. And that's what they're now doing. And I'm proud of my brothers who are doing that. I am so proud of my brothers who are doing that. They're leveling up. And once they finish that level up season, honey, they need a certain kind of woman. Sis, are you that woman? So guys, I think that's it. So I spoke on cheating, why I don't discipline. I don't know. And so again, this is for my brothers and my sisters because men and women cheat. You guys have a great one. It's your girl.